Veronica Armstrong, and I'm obsessed with helping women emancipate themselves from limiting beliefs and behaviors that prevent them from operating in their zone of success. I'm a former corporate executive turned coach who gave it all up to help women rise above personal constraints and march boldly towards becoming the women they were born to be. My goal for this podcast is to make it a space where we shatter old thought patterns, challenge limiting beliefs, and break the chains of societal norms. Here, you are not defined by your past, but empowered by the potential of your future. So, join us on this journey as we dig deep into a world of transformative insight and empowering information. Because remember, you are more than just a product of your past, you are the architect of your future. Welcome to Girl Emancipated. Welcome back to Girl Emancipated. This is your host, Veronica Armstrong, and today we are focusing on something incredibly important, yet often overlooked, and that is celebrating our own achievements. Celebrate You is all about recognizing your success, big and small, and understanding the immense value that recognizing your success brings to your life's journey. So let's dive into episode number 17 and learn to appreciate ourselves and the work that we do. So to kick this off, I'd like to start by talking about why celebrating our achievements is important for personal growth and building our self-esteem. So when we take the time to acknowledge our accomplishments, no matter what the size, we validate the work and the effort that we put in to achieve that specific goal. Validation is key to building our self-esteem. And I'll tell you, as a leader, when I was in corporate and I managed my team, one of the things that I taught my team is to give themselves a pat on the back. And the reason I told them to do that is because just acknowledging those accomplishments and recognizing in the moment the hard work and the effort that you put in and the results that you get, it helps to reinforce your own thoughts and beliefs about your abilities. It helps you remember the things that you are capable of doing so that when the going gets tough, you can always look back at these moments that you've celebrated and you can remember and recognize what you are made of. When you do not celebrate these moments, they are easy to forget. You can actually put them on the back burner, hide them away, tuck them away in a closet or someplace and forget that you actually accomplished what you accomplished. And that is not the goal. And I know for some people, recognizing their own accomplishments seems boastful. It seems arrogant. We're going to talk about that a little bit more. But I'm here to tell you, sis, it is not boastful. It is not arrogant. Acknowledging the hard work and effort that you put in to achieve the goals that you set out to achieve. So another reason why it's important to acknowledge your achievement is the psychological benefits. And those benefits are a boost in happiness, and recognizing your achievements helps you to increase your motivation, and it reinforces a positive self-image that you have for yourself. So, sis, let's start by giving ourselves a round of applause for the things that we have accomplished in life, no matter how big or how small. Give yourselves a round of applause and give yourself the credit, because the credit is in fact what you deserve for putting all of that hard work and effort into accomplishing the things that you've set out to accomplish. So I'd like to share something that occurred to me this past weekend. I went to a conference, and if anyone knows James Wedmore, James is actually my mentor. I am in his next level program. I'm also a student of his in Business by Design, aka BBD. So we had the BBD Live this past weekend, and one of the exercises we had to do during one of the days of the conference was to write down the things that we accomplished this year. And, you know, I too have to remind myself to celebrate my achievements. But I was actually amazed when I read what I had written down about the things that I accomplished this year. So let's talk about that. I walked away from corporate in July of 2022. I spent the next couple of months updating my program, refining it, and making it better, because my ultimate goal was to turn my one-on-one coaching program, the program that I had created several years ago based on the experiences that I was having with professional women, I turned it into a group coaching program because I wanted to create a container that allowed women to feed off of each other, to benefit from what they were learning and experiencing with each other, because they could get so much more out of that than they could get with me and me alone. And I recognize that simply because of all the programs that I'm in that are group coaching programs. So I went on to launch my program twice. I did 7 webinars. Did 2 public speaking gigs. And on top of that, I launched my podcast. Aside from that, I made money. Yes, not as much money as I'd like because I haven't replaced my salary yet. But the fact still remains, I did a lot in 2023. So I have to give myself a pat on the back for that. And if I don't acknowledge what I've done, how can I be happy with the things that I'm doing? Because you're just not recognizing them. So kudos to me for putting my fears aside. Kudos to me for putting one foot in front of the other. Kudos to me for not allowing my setbacks to keep me held back from accomplishing the things that God intends for me to accomplish. This is why it's important for us to acknowledge our accomplishments, because we have to give ourselves a pat on the back. Because here's the deal, sis, if you don't pat yourself on the back, who's going to? So go ahead, give yourself that pat on the back and recognize that when you put your mind to it, you are capable of accomplishing almost anything. So enough about my accomplishments. I'd like to move on to the power of acknowledging your accomplishments and the impact it has on personal development. So acknowledging our achievements does more than just make us feel good in the moment. It also contributes to a positive self-image, and it helps to boost your confidence. Now think about this. When you acknowledge the things that you have accomplished, you also force yourself to recognize your abilities and your strengths, and that will help you boost your confidence. Recognizing your own success is also a form of self-empowerment because it's about taking ownership of your journey and your accomplishments. And let's talk about this. In recognizing all the things that I accomplish, it reminds me of what I'm capable of, and it also makes me feel empowered to continue putting one foot in front of the other so that I can accomplish the things that I like to accomplish. And acknowledging your accomplishments also plays a role in setting and achieving future goals. It's a cycle, really, it truly is, because the more you acknowledge your achievements, the more driven you are to succeed in the future or even further. But we do have to remember, there is a fine line between healthy recognition of your accomplishments and arrogance. And it's all about the balance in recognizing your achievements with humility and gratitude. So let's discuss having confidence and acknowledging your achievements versus arrogance. And I'd like to start by defining what having confidence in your achievements is versus what arrogance is. So self-confidence is having faith in one's ability to handle a variety of situations with ease. And having high self-confidence means having high self-worth, and one who has high self-confidence doesn't necessarily boast about their achievements. People who are self-confident are open to ideas and the opinions of others, and their confidence stems from their high self-worth and just assurance in their abilities. Now, someone who is arrogant, on the other hand, has an inflated self-image of themselves, and they come from a lack of self-awareness. People who are arrogant are not open to feedback or learning from others because they are quote-unquote know-it-all. They are self-consumed, and they have an inflated sense of self-importance. So I'm hoping that explaining the difference between being confident in your achievements versus being arrogant about it helps you recognize the difference between the two so that you can feel more comfortable with acknowledging your accomplishments and not feel like you're boasting or not feel like you're being arrogant about it. So, sis, please acknowledge your accomplishments, acknowledge the work that you put in. Now I'd like to talk about how the acknowledging of your achievements aligns with the pillars of living an emancipated life. So, self-awareness. Just understanding what constitutes an achievement for you speaks to your self-awareness of your abilities. Empowerment, celebrating your achievement leads to a sense of independence. Therefore, you feel empowered to do the things that might seem hard or the things that you want to do. And next up is connection. When you share your successes, you inspire and motivate others, and it strengthens your relationships with others as well. And finally, purpose, because it's about aligning your achievements with your life's goals and your ambitions. Recognizing and valuing your achievements is not just a personal win. It's a way to connect, empower, and live purposefully. So here is the fun part of this episode. Let's talk about practical ways to celebrate your achievements, because celebrating achievements doesn't always have to be a big deal. It can be as simple as treating yourself to a nice meal, a glass of wine, or even taking the day off to relax. So here are some other ways to celebrate your accomplishments. Share it with others. When I launched my podcast, I had a podcast launch party and I invited people to join me. I think I had like 20 people join me, and that was exciting. So share with others. Another thing you can do is go out with friends to celebrate your accomplishments. Go out to dinner, have a drink. Just get together with someone who can celebrate with you. Remember, it's not boasting. It is just acknowledging all of the effort and the hard work that you have put into accomplishing a goal. And don't forget about journaling or other reflective practices, because they're a great way to acknowledge and document your growth and your achievements over time. And if you're going to journal, here are some prompts that you can ask yourself to self-reflect that will help you get your thoughts on paper. And the first question is, what did you enjoy most about your specific journey that helped you accomplish whatever it is you set out to accomplish? And the next question is, what did you do well? Documenting the things that you did well is a way to memorialize the behaviors, the activities, and the action steps that you took that yielded the results that you intended, because ultimately you can always go back to that and review it and remember what you did so that you can repeat the same thing again. The next question is, what strengths did you use? As a Gallup certified strengths coach, I am big on making sure that we recognize our strengths so that we can always go back to them and learn how to aim them. So what strengths did you use? The next question is, what skills did you gain? It's important to recognize the skills that you gain, because then remembering them, kind of committing them to memory, will help you recall them when they're needed in the future. The next question is, what do I feel most confident about? That's a great question, because documenting what you feel confident about is going to help you boost your self-esteem, and it's going to add to the self-awareness you have about yourself and your abilities. The next question is, how did I overcome obstacles along the way? And that's a really important one, because if you faced obstacles along the way, documenting how you overcame them will allow you to memorialize what you did in the face of adversity, so that if you experience similar situations in the future, you can go back to this and you'll know exactly what action steps you took, and you can use them again, hopefully, and achieve a similar, if not better, outcome. And finally, what would I do to change for the next time? And that's an important one, because self-reflection is all about improving our performance and going back and looking at the things that you've done and you've accomplished and determining what it is that you can do to change the next time is making sure that you continually improve, or what I like to call continuous improvement. Just making sure that you understand what you can do better and giving yourself the opportunity to implement those changes will ensure that you are moving forward and getting better each and every single time that you execute. So if you are still on the fence with acknowledging and celebrating and recognizing your achievements, this segment is for you, because many of us hesitate to celebrate our own successes due to fear of how it might be perceived by others. But I want you to remember, acknowledging your achievements is not about bragging. It's about giving yourself credit where credit is due. So here are some tips on how to recognize your own achievements without worrying about what other people think. So the first thing is, don't worry about what other people think, because what they think about you is none of your business. And that is something that I have learned. in all of my years that what other people think about me is none of my business. It's their business. It is not for you to worry about. So that's the first thing. Don't worry about what others think about you. The next thing is remember that sharing your achievements can inspire others to achieve more. And that is so incredibly important. I am sharing my achievements. I'm sharing my experiences because I know that it will inspire others. Keeping or withholding this information others means that we are not giving them the opportunity to hear other examples from other people who look like them, who are them, that will help them overcome. So remember, you're sharing your experiences and how you achieve the things you achieve will and can inspire others to overcome. So think about that. And finally, sharing your achievements and celebrating your achievements really is you leading by example. Because again, it's similar to the last thing I said. If you are sharing with others how you accomplish the things that you accomplish, you are showing others how to lead themselves. You are leading by example. You are being the example for others to help them overcome the things that might be getting in their way. So just remember, sis, by acknowledging your wins, you are truly, truly, truly attracting more in your life because you are pouring into others in a way that you probably never even considered. So as I wrap up today's discussion, I want to encourage you to regularly acknowledge your accomplishments and celebrate the progress and success that you are making. Because continuous recognition of your accomplishment, it will positively impact all areas of your life, including your self-esteem, your self-worth, your confidence, and who doesn't want to do that? So regularly celebrate your accomplishments. And finally, it's a practice that just fosters ongoing growth and satisfaction. The more we recognize the things that we accomplish, the more we try to push beyond our limitations, the more we are developing ourselves. But in order to develop ourselves, we have to acknowledge the things that we are accomplishing so that we can level up and do more. And now that we have shared all of that, I'd love to hear from all of you. I'd love for you to join the Girl Emancipated group to share with us your achievements and how you celebrate them. Let's discuss the impact that these celebrations had on your confidence and your future goals, because your stories are not only inspiring to me, but they will be inspiring to others. So I encourage you to join the Girl Emancipated Podcast Insiders and just go ahead and post how you celebrate your achievements. So as we conclude today's episode, I encourage each of you to take a moment to truly celebrate your achievements. Remember, every step forward, no matter how big or how small, there is a reason to be proud. As you go forward this week, I challenge you to write down some of the things that you accomplished this year and give yourself a pat on the back for a job well done. And doing so will help you put things into perspective so you're not too hard on yourself and so that you can create some realistic goals for 2024. So that's it for this episode. Thank you for being a part of the Girl Emancipated podcast community. Together, we are breaking free from limitations, embracing our authenticity, and empowering ourselves to live the lives we're meant to live. Remember, hit that subscribe button and follow me at I Am Coach Veronica on Instagram and Facebook to stay connected. I also want you to share this with your friends. And if you want to be a member of the Girl Emancipated Podcast Insiders community, where we will dig deeper into the episodes and support each other each week, join our private group on Facebook. All you have to do is click on the link in the podcast summary or search for the Girl Emancipated Podcast group on Facebook. Until next time, keep shining, keep succeeding, and most importantly, keep celebrating you. Bye for now.